A duck, a chicken, and a computer program written in 1964 can tell you everything you need to know about the current threat presented by AI. As Elon Musk waxes and wanes on the threat of AI, a quick look at history gives a moderating perspective on whether or how AI really is an existential threat to the world. The astute amongst you may recall that Elon predicted we'd be vacuum-packed in hyperloops and the first settlers would be headed to Mars about now. He also pump and dumped digital currency and used Twitter to manipulate the Tesla share price. Could it be that he has an interest in upselling AI capability? Alright, enough of the hatchet job on Elon. What about this chicken? In the Coen brothers' short film Ozymandias, an entertainer tours small towns earning a meager living reciting by heart famous literary works. He is a quadruple amputee and is dependent entirely on his assistant who travels with him and manages the events. The assistant sees a competing stage show where a chicken answers math questions from the audience by pecking the correct numbered metal plate, unaware that the stage is the real trick and the chicken is a prop. The assistant purchases the chicken for a large sum. And then, believing the chicken will earn a lot more and cost less to keep, he murders the entertainer and sets off on tour with the chicken. And what about the duck? In 1737, French inventor Jacques de Vaucanson created a mechanical duck. The duck could eat, walk, talk and most famously defecate. Today the phrase "if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck" is used to imply that the subject is whatever it appears to be. However, the phrase is a direct reference to Vaucanson's duck. Vaucanson was clearly a genius. But despite the convenience of the phrase, Vaucanson's duck is not a duck. Vaucanson's duck fulfills none of the properties of being a duck. It is no more a duck than an airplane is a bird. But how people reacted to the duck is the informative part. Like the tricked assistant who was unaware of where the intelligence was in the chicken show. Or the modern saying that inverts the meaning of the duck phrase. A failure to perceive a difference is not the same as there being no difference. Modern AI has dazzled the public and experts alike with its presentation of set pieces, but it remains in the earliest stages of achieving intelligence. In 1964, Joseph Weizenbaum created ELIZA, a text-based pattern matching program that tricked users into believing that the program understood what it said. Famously, ELIZA was successful enough that it fooled some users into thinking it could give relationship advice. The Turing test is a famous test for computational intelligence. In essence, it is that if you cannot tell the difference between a machine response and a human response, then the machine has passed a human level of intelligence. In a sense, ELIZA passed the Turing test for some people in 1964. Like ELIZA, ChatGPT is not an inference engine. It does not know a single fact. What ChatGPT does is it calculates the next most likely word. If you consider it to be a bigger version of the autocomplete text functionality on your phone, you would not be very far off. Just as you would be ill-advised to send a message constructed entirely from the first suggestions of your phone's autocomplete list. You should be skeptical of the legitimacy of content generated by ChatGPT. It is the same reason that means ChatGPT cannot play novel games, or even a common game of chess, which features directly in its training set. And this is where the actual hazard of AI is. It is not that AI is all-conquering and replaces humans everywhere. The problem is that so many people cannot tell the difference between a mimicry of intelligence and actual intelligence. Since ChatGPT also passes SAT tests, it is clear that the SAT test is a test for recall, and is not a test for intelligence. So many people do not understand the limitations of AI. The Turing test is not passed when it fools one person. If that were the case, then it would have been passed with ELIZA in 1964. The Turing test is passed once no one can tell the difference between the AI and the human, and to do that you have to be able to learn, rationalize, and adapt to new information. This is modeling of relationships between objects, which is more than interpolation of the data in the training set. Accurate extrapolation requires modeling and rationalization against the actual mechanics of the real world. Interpolation is a modified form of data regurgitation. Until AI models facts and relationships correctly, it is nothing like an existential threat. In the meantime, humans misunderstanding AI are a very real threat, and humans using AI to manipulate other humans is a long-established tradition. If a job is replaced by an AI, it means one of two things: either the job was rote and the human value added to the outcome was minimal, or the person who replaced the job with an AI was a moron. Time will tell which case was which. Remember the duck and the chicken. Ignorance is the actual threat. The worst decisions are made where fear and ignorance are combined. Be kind to each other. F.T.S.